Miss you too, Ernie.
Hey, me too. We'll watch the Miami Heat in this one as they go up against the Washington Wizards here at Capital One Center. And guys, for the Wizards, it's not always easy to play in front of your home crowd opening night. You really don't know how you're going to come out and perform, but it's still an advantage in trying to get that first win. And Bradley Beal boosting his scoring output the past few seasons, justifying the big contract. Kenny, what's he been doing differently?
I think he's more aggressive, Ernie. I don't think he sits back and waits for the moment. He goes after it, he sees it. He gets more free throws, gets to the line better, and his three-point ball has improved.
And also what has improved is his confidence. Because of his skill and athleticism, he doesn't need to settle. Just go out and be aggressive like Kenny just told you to do, buddy.
So, improved numbers improves his confidence. So, chicken and the egg, what comes first, the chicken or the egg?
I don't know.
What do you think comes first?
I'm not worried about that now. It's breakfast time. I'm worried about all
I'm just asking you.
Yeah,
You know everything, Dr. O'Neill. Tell me what comes first, the chicken or the egg?
Well, since it's breakfast time and I want an omelet, I'm going to go with the egg.
But if the egg came first, it would be a chicken because he'd make an omelet.
What?
Sorry, I asked.
Welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA. NBA basketball. I'm sure you're as excited as all of us are here at 2K Sports as we get ready to start the season in style. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony as well as Doris Burke. And we've got David Aldridge on the sideline. It's the Miami Heat taking on the Washington Wizards. And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Thank you, Kevin. Well, the Miami Heat has established that high standard for fitness. Even Eric Spoelstra has gotten into it in his late 40s. The Heat coach says when he's working out, I'm in a different place. With physical, emotional, and mental benefits, I'm hooked. Kevin?
As hard as he works, great that he takes care of himself, too. DA, thank you.
Well, you think about the Washington Wizards and the problems they have had on the interior defending. Last year, they gave up a ton of points in the paint, and for the past 3 years, they've been around the bottom of the league for block shots. And so the tip-off, it's Miami. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. And for Miami, look at who they've got out there. Down low, it's Johnson and Whiteside. Then there's Dragic. Then it's Josh Richardson. And it's Magruder in a Batista. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot two. I think the thing I like best about Otto is it allows him to impact the game in so many ways.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Two shots.
And the first one drops. And Doris, so much of Washington's talent lately has been on the perimeter.
Right, it begins with an all-star backcourt. You've got the ferociously fast John Wall and the sweet shooting Bradley Beal. But I think they do need to balance that with a little bit of interior play.
And Porter drops them both.
I think it's best to avoid putting this guy at the line if possible, but that's obviously easier said than done.
Here's Dragic, passes it to Johnson. There's the pick. Johnson the screen. Here's Richardson, and two free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And Josh Richardson at the University of Tennessee was a pre-med student, plans on becoming a surgeon. But when the NBA became a possibility, he said he had to switch to an easier major.
And instead of spending 4 hours a day studying, he put that time into the gym. A terrific defender in college, was the two-time All-SEC defensive player. And with the newfound focus on basketball, he has blossomed as a scorer.
That's good from Richardson. So 1 for 2 that time with the strike. Early on, just watching certain veteran players, Doris, continuing to play at a high level after so many years.
And what you love is the great ones seem to adjust their games along the way, and not only adjust their games, but add dimensions, whether it's being able to go down into the low post position, if you're a point guard, a two guard, or even a three-man. But the other part of this, Kevin, is the off-the-court stuff. The better nutrition that these guys are being much smarter about, the strength and conditioning programs they're putting themselves through in the offseason. All of that raises the level in the NBA.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
And that's not the type of defense you want to play, right? You've got to make it more difficult than that. Layups are too easy.
Now here's Wall. That one goes in. Wall's got his first 2 points of the night.
That's an agile finish right there. Wall finding the angle despite the tough defense.
So first quarter just over a minute and a half in. Dragic kicks to Johnson. Here's Magruder. And what was that about? Wall passes to Beal. That's good. And so Wall with the assist. Beal's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Wall against Dragic. Dishes it to Whiteside. A pass to Richardson. Lets it go from 14. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls.
Yeah, boy, it never gets old watching this guy go to work at the offensive end. He's so gifted.
Morris with the screen for Wall. And a wide open look for Porter. And the Wizards hit again from deep.
Lights out here, right out of the gate. Perfect 4-4 from the floor.
Dragic with it, and it's Howard picking him up. Here's Magruder. And he can't answer back. A three-pointer offline. Washington leading now by 7. Second chance effort. Johnson with the block. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. Here's Dragic. Shoots it up. And another basket for Miami.
How good is that pass? Certainly makes the offensive opportunity easy.
For Washington, they've gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. Wall dishes to Beal. Morris with the screen for Beal. Miami grabs the miss.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
I don't think the defense is much of a factor there. He just...
Ball. Kicks it to Porter. Morris with a screen on Richardson. Inside. Howard trying to free himself up. And there's Morris. That's good on the assist from Porter.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
Well, in the summer of 2017, when Otto Porter signed that 4-year, $107 million contract with the Wizards, it was widely questioned. Well, it's been worth every penny thus far as he's become one of the best small forwards in the game.
Getting ready for the Wizards. Jason Smith, he's checked in for Howard. Green comes in for Morris. Oubre's checked in for Porter. And it's Austin Rivers in for Bradley Beal. And that small forward position that Porter plays, maybe the most important position in the league. You think of LeBron James. You think
his own on both ends. The Wizards' most impactful defensive player. He takes on those big-time players night in and night night out.
Smith sets the pick for Wall. Smith outside. Over in the corner, Green. Screen by Smith. Green, no luck. They can go 2 for 1.
It's about being smart right now.
Johnson kicks to Olenek. Pass to Wade. Now Johnson. Here's Adebayo. Just 4 to shoot. Wade gets the bucket.
Well, listen, this is far from the strength of Dwayne Wade's game, but you got to guard him from outside the arc, because if you give him a little bit of space, he'll make that.
Ball against Johnson. Outside, Wall. Fires from the line. Not going to go that time. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Washington out in front. They're up by 1. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter.
I got the keys, I got it. Baby girl, you rock it. Going hard like Hardy. Going hard like I bought it. A lot of games network. I'm letting the game speak. So I'm going to just drop it in between times like that.
Dwayne Wade talked about the potential of this team as well as the challenge.
But that's the hardest part, is understanding your potential when you have guys who's never been through it, as a collective group. So that's the biggest challenge, is to understand, okay, we're good, guys. We can win some games, but can we get to the next level of being great?
That's the veteran mindset a player like Wade brings to the group.
Exactly. I mean, he's fully aware of the importance of experience, a true leader for his team.
Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And taking a look at the Wizards' performance here, guys, what are your thoughts?
I love the fact that they're getting so many of their points at the rim. Just a solid first period.
Well, Greg, playing bully basketball on the block. Every opportunity they've wanted at the rack, they've got it.
Center ends, there's Rivers. Then there's Green. Then there's Jason Smith. And it's Oubre in at the small forward position. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington. Green kicks to Rivers. Over Wade. On target from 13 feet.
That's a perfect mid-range jumper. All he needs is an inch of space, and they gave it to him.
Johnson in the corner. Back to Wade. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. Down low. Adebayo takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
Boy, Dwayne Wade showing what a brilliant playmaker he is.
Wade against Rivers. Almost, but it rolls out. The Heat with the lead. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, Bradley Beal became a first-time All-Star in 2018. He knows the next step is becoming a better leader. He said, sometimes I can be nonchalant, locked into myself and not saying anything. It's just my personality. And as a leader, you can't be that way. You have to encourage your teammates and don't be afraid to say things. Don't be afraid to be a leader. Kevin?
Good story, D.A. Thank you. Well, doors for Kelly Oubre to maximize his potential in this league. The jump shot will be key.
Right, Kevin, and there are positive signs where Kelly Oubre and his long-range shooting are concerned. His usage and efficiency have both gone up over the last couple of years. He's also been more aggressive on the offensive end, spending more time at the free throw line, and you would expect that with the level of athleticism he brings.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington. And a new group getting ready to come in for Washington. Mahaney's checked in for Smith. Morris comes in for Green. Otto Porter Jr. he's checked in for Oubre. And Beal subbed in for Rivers. Satoransky against Dragic. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Whiteside. Satoransky against Dragic. Shot clock at 6. wide right. It's off the rim.
Yeah, coming off that screen, wide open, just can't convert.
And I think, Greg, that's exactly what you want. The screen was solid. The execution just fell a little bit short on the shot.
Johnson with a screen on Mahimi. Here's Whiteside, and it's slammed in by Whiteside.
And ran his man straight into the screen and got a clear path to the bucket.
That is how it is done.
Great teamwork. That's something you develop by practicing it over and over again.
Morris passes to Satoransky, and there it is for him. With the analysis of defensive impact becoming more advanced, Doris, do you think that helps defenders gain recognition even when they're not putting up numbers in individual statistical categories?
Well, think about a recent winner of the Defensive Player of the Year, and that's Draymond Green, whose value becomes into sharp focus, particularly in the fourth quarter of games, when it becomes a possession ball game, and Draymond Green is flying around the floor in help defensive position, covering up for teammates' mistakes. I absolutely think, Kevin, increasingly because of the advanced metrics, that players can be defined outside of points and rebounds. So I love the impact of the numbers.
Richardson, no luck.
Unbelievable.
Going back and forth tonight.
Neither team wants to give an inch. This is fun. Both teams trying desperately to seize the momentum.
Dragic kicks to Richardson. Back to Dragic. Johnson with a screen on Wall. Dragic. Miami no good on that time either. For Washington, they've gone 4-7 from the field in the second quarter so far. Here's Porter. And it's Hassan Whiteside with the rebound. They play the clock right. They go 2 for 1.
Just got to time it up right.
Out of bounds. Washington takes possession. Rodney McGruder's checked in for Richardson. There's 38 seconds left here in the second. Inside, here's Morris, and Morris throws it down.
There is a reason John Wall's name is always at the top of the leaderboard in assists in the NBA. Understanding how to dissect a defense.
Here's Beal. Off the left rim and out. For the Heat, their last game, a loss to the Magic in Orlando. Pass to Whiteside. Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second goal. To the inside. Here's Green. Oh, not going to go. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. Wizards lead by 3. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Coach, what's got the offense working?
Well, finally we were able to get some stops. We were able to get a couple easy ones in the open court. A little bit more patience to try to get something up today.
We'll see if you can keep breaking them down in the second half. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow. Right here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. A pretty close game for the Wizards throughout the first quarter. They were able to squeeze ahead by the end of the period with just a 1-point lead. The second quarter was a tight battle, but they were the slightly better team. Not by very much, however. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Wizards.
Well, first and foremost, you got to take care of the basketball. And that means playing with poise, making good decisions, and not giving away any possession. They did a great job of that in the first half.
And over to Shaq. What'd you think about Miami?
They were really efficient, great approach offensively. Their shot selection was first rate. They were always working hard to get good looks. That can't change in the second half. They need to be just as well organized as they have been so far.
And it's just about time now for the third quarter to get underway.
Third quarter on its way, third quarter on its way by the sleigh. Never play, got the heat, got the Wade, be a feet.
Well,
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. D-Wade really playing well in this one.
Oh, well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them, and really few forced shots here so far.
I think, Greg, we're seeing a couple things. Terrific play calling, unselfish nature, and quality shooting. That makes for good offense.
D-Wade.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Looking at Miami, they want to turn it around after the loss to Orlando. Here's who Eric Spoelstra is starting the second half. Richardson and Johnson are the forwards. Then there's Whiteside. Then there's Dragic. And it's Magruder in at the 2. Well, you look at some of the analytics, and the best-rated player on the Wizards might surprise you. None other than one Otto Porter Jr.
And he's really become an impact player at both ends of the floor. One of the glue guys on this squad. He just impacts the game in so many ways, and sometimes it escapes unnoticed.
And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts, and a chance for one more here.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
Washington shooting their third free throw attempt of the game. And Markieff Morris out of Kansas, a spread 4, as they say.
And able to strike it from anywhere on the floor. A good secondary scorer who can also create his own shot on the clock at times.
Back to Johnson, off the screen, and it's good on the layup.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
And about a minute of action so far in the third quarter. To the middle, here's Morris, and Morris throws it down.
Well, this is what you like to see from Morris, being aggressive. Hammer it down with authority, big man.
Now a timeout called by Miami. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
But they recover it. Whiteside kicks to Richardson. It's stolen by Wall. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Wizards will retain possession. Washington making some changes. Raheemi's checked in for Howard. Oubre comes in for Porter. And it's Austin Rivers in for Beal. And Miami. Washington with the ball. They lead by 8. That's the biggest of the game. Dragic against Wall. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Wizards need to get a shot off here. Oubre can't get it to go. For Miami, they've gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. From outside the arc. And there's Dwayne Wade on the assist from Dragic. 11 points for Dwayne Wade. Washington leading now by 5. Now the feed to Morris. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Wade against Rivers. Wade with it. He's got 11. Johnson with a screen on Rivers. Wade passes to Johnson. Good on the shot. Johnson's got 6 points.
Well, the basketball mind that Dwayne Wade possesses is so special. What understanding and feel for where his guys will be. Wow, that defense not prepared for that. Jan Mahinmi flying to the rim for the catch and finish.
That was
and
nice.
That unleashed chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Hover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. It's good, and the Washington lead is cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Dragic. Ball against the Whiteside, sends it back. Richardson dishes to Johnson. Whiteside kicks to Wade. There's the foul. It's on Mahinmi. That's his first foul.
Locker room presence, one of the aspects that gets overlooked by fans, but Doris, not by coaches. And there are some players who have that presence.
You know what, Kevin? And this can take the shape of a lot of different things. So one guy that comes to mind is Sean Livingston. Always calm, always about team. Thaddeus Young is not a name necessarily that is at the top of everybody's best player list, but anyone who's ever coached Thad Young believes in his ability to affect positively a locker room. Then you have those guys who maybe are going to challenge you a little bit more, but ultimately are good for the team. And I would cite Draymond Green, who will call out a teammate if necessary, push them to greater heights. You need both kinds, I think, Kevin, in your locker room.
Now here's Winslow, covered by Oubre. Oh, and here comes Rivers all alone.
They're getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Boy, just a step quicker than the defense, really. Catching them off guard and capitalizing well.
There's the pick. There's Winslow. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. Wade's got 3 assists tonight. Wizards leading by 7. Rivers passes to Oubre. Miami a screen on Winslow. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
And had the right idea there in calling for the screen, but he was just slow to get to the spot and didn't get set.
Yeah, just a matter of he needs to be there a split second earlier. Not much room for error when you're setting a screen.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Howard's checked in for Mahinmi. Green comes in for Jason Smith. Otto Porter Jr., he's checked in for Kelly Oubre. And Bradley Beal subbed in for Austin Rivers. Porter against Winslow. Back to Adebayo. Howard with the steal. And here we go. Washington fast break. And finished off by Beal.
Boy, great bounce to his game. Bradley Beal, a big-time athlete.
Feeds to Olynyk. Sinks that one from the post. Olynyk's got his first bucket in this one.
Exactly the kind of ball movement they're looking for.
Down low, here's Howard, and Howard with the stop.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. And we've reached the end of the third. Washington out in front, up 9. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return.
Fourth quarter coming up. Baby girl, you know what's up. I'm about to score. I'm about to make sure I give more. I'm about to make sure I leave it on the floor. About to hit the NBA Live.
Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game. And it's presented as always by State Farm.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that, Greg, putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play getting started. The Heat trail by 9. All at point with Beal to his side. They're the deadly backcourt pair. Otto Porter Jr. out there with Green. And it's Howard in at the center, locking down the middle. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington. Washington's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Screen by Howard. And Wall kicks to Beal. And again, Washington with the triple.
And what a half for this offense. If they can stay this high, a great chance to extend this lead.
Unloads from 13. He can't get that one to fall. Now Washington takes it the other way. We're playing host to Toronto for the next one. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home. Porter, no luck. Miami's gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight, made 5 of them. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Jeff Green picks one up.
I like how Kelly Olynyk finds a number of different ways to contribute to his team. A selfless player who always does what's asked of him.
That one is off.
Wow, what, did he have something in his eye on that shot?
Maybe. Markieff Morris is checked in for Jeff Green. Outside, Beal. Shot from the top of the key. It's Adebayo with the rebound. Adebayo's got 3 rebounds now in this one. The shot's good from Ellington.
Don't you just love how Olynyk shares the basketball? He uses his height to see over defenders.
Morris with the screen for Wall. Passes it to Morris. The Wizards with another miss. The Heat trail by 7. Johnson down low, covered by Wall. Ellington dishes to Olynyk. It's stolen by Morris. Wall against Johnson. Wall attacking. Rebound by Johnson.
Man, look at how well the defense does to cut his path to the basket. Comes up empty on what might have been an easy play.
And Olynyk kicks to Johnson. And again, Miami with the triple.
The defenders need to recognize the importance of staying on him as we get into crunch time.
Washington calls timeout. Let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Older.
He was able to listen in on what Scott Brooks had to say to his team. He told them, hey, they're ready to give up. We're close to winning this game, but we're not done yet. I don't want to see any let up out there. We'll see how well we got the point across.
Thank you, David. That one misses.
And Dragic came into the NBA with something on his resume that not many other rookies have. He has a ring from winning the Slovenian Pro League the year before he came to America.
Wizards leading by 3. Wall passes to Beal. That's good. And so Wall with the assist. Wall's got his assist totals piling up. 11 now for him. Here's Wade, and sent back by Howard.
And he's led the league in block shots on multiple occasions, and Howard's still a presence down low. And just great offensive execution by both sides, leaving nothing on the table.
What an offensive clinic.
The kick out to Dragic. Good on the three-point shot.
Wade will finish his career as one of the 5 best 2 guards in the league because of his scoring, but he's always been a terrific passer. Look at that assist. So nice, D-Wade.
The pass to Howard. They double-team Howard. At the wall. Rejected by Dragic. And he recovers it. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Wall. That's his first foul. The Heat trail by 5. Dragic kicks to Wade. 3-pointers off the mark. Wizards have gone 3 of 8 here in the 4th quarter. Beal against Wade. Shot by post, and it's good off the back rim and in. And that's 13 points for Beal.
You know, whenever Beal gets a little breathing room, he just knows how to make the defense pay.
Wade passes to Dragic. Outside sets the pick for Dragic. Up off the screen. There it goes. It's in, and the Wizards' lead is cut down to 5 on the bucket from Whiteside. For Washington, they've gotten just under 45% of their attempts to drop in the 4th of 9. Morris, no good.
And that would have been a spectacular alley-oop on those long. Well, yeah, I mean, you want to give your offense a chance, and that possession didn't do it.
Not at all, Craig. I mean, no reason for him to be taking these kinds of shots. He has only himself to blame.
Here's the break. Whiteside dishes to Johnson. Wade for 3. Rebound by the Wizards. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. And now they decide to foul intentionally. And Miami making a change here. Magruder's checked in. There's 42 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. And it goes out of bounds. Went off Dragic. it's Washington now, leading by 5. Here's Wall. Hassan Whiteside grabs the miss.
And so far this quarter, he's been a little off on this game.
Yeah, scoring isn't coming naturally to him right now. Looking a little bit uncomfortable out there.
Johnson the screen. Whiteside the pass to Johnson. And he commits the intentional foul. And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second.
From the moment he stepped into the NBA from the University of Kentucky, John Wall has been hungry and motivated to prove he belongs listed with the top.
Their lead to 6. Timeout called the Heat. They're trailing by 6. 17 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Guys, your thoughts?
And I'm not sure the 2-point bucket does much here. I think they got to go for 3.
Unless it's an and one, a 2-pointer makes no sense. Unfortunately for them, the defense knows this too.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, John Wall.
And I love that it's been a hard-charging performance. Jump shots have been kind of an afterthought. His main goal has been to attack the rim and put the D in some tough spots and also finishing strong.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. Good on the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
I really believe this is one of the top up-and-coming 2 guards in the NBA, Bradley Beal.
Wade. They get him again. Goes straight to the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. Bradley Beal picks one up.
This guy is a beast.
He does not waste one of them.
He's so very quick to convert off the miss, and usually with authority.
And that one misses. And so Washington takes the win. They didn't make it easy on themselves or their fans. But in the end, everyone's satisfied.
I mean, there were some times that momentum shifted, and especially early on. But let's give this group a lot of credit for that stick-to-itiveness in terms of finishing out and executing that game plan.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks with John Wall. John, it sure looks like the chemistry is coming together. What is the bond like with your teammates?
We enjoy playing with each other. We have great chemistry. We all work hard, and we know how much we mean to each other, how much we work every day, and we're just trying to keep getting better each game.
Well, the work is paying off, John. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about does it for the first game of the new NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports Group, thanking you for tuning in. So long, everyone. You